day. So we are back. I'm going to flip it over. So I'm in the car again. Had to get a couple groceries. So just on the road. So today's Habits for Happiness is number 13. It is think positively. So how many people are thinking positively now? And what does it do to help you think positively? So there's a lot of things to think positive about. There are many changes that are happening in this world right now. And one of the nice things about it is that it can be a better earth and a better world if people start practicing some of the kindness and other helping each other, neighbor kinds of things that have been happening, and continue that even after we've gone through whatever it is that's going to be changing. Nobody seems to know a whole lot of that, so I guess that's just how it is, right? I'll just wave to you guys. So thinking positively means also not living in fear, in my opinion. Certainly is easy to get caught up in that if you are watching a lot of quote unquote news. Depending on what channels you watch, all you see are visuals of this virus in the background all the time, instead of, a peaceful scene or something great that's been happening. That doesn't seem to dominate the news, of course. Mostly what dominates is, how many people died and, how many people they've tested positive. And a lot of the time you don't even hear the numbers of the over 500,000 people that have had the coronavirus and have survived and are doing fine. Presumably they have antibodies. We don't know that yet 100%, but apparently that's one of the protocols that they're using for people to fight this and transmute it so that it's not going to kill you. Yes, it is very contagious, but it's also not as deadly to a lot of people. It is deadly to people who have underlying conditions. So that's who we're working on being careful about. My mother's 85 and has some of the underlying conditions that are discussed here, and so we're being extra careful. So there is not a chance of, her being in the presence of it anywhere. But I think that's part of the problem, is there's so much information out there. It's a little mind-boggling. And so it might be difficult to be positive when you're looking at all this. I think one of the things that's hard to do is watch the news and find out, where's the good news in this? Where's all the people who have recovered? Where are the stories? There's very far and few between. There are some. I'll give them that. There are some. So it's difficult to be positive when you're constantly bombarded with, misinformation, no information, not complete information, or just bad news, so to speak. And I think that's what's hard, is to sift through that and remain positive in light of what's going on with this worldwide, epidemic. And I think the other thing that's positive is that there are a lot of people who are out there helping others, being kind to other people, helping them get face masks or PPE. Who would ever thought we thought PPE was a word, a terminology or acronym, if you will, that everybody would now know. So personal protection equipment, everything from gowns to gloves to masks, particularly types of face masks if they're in the healthcare fields or first responders and that kind of thing. We definitely want to provide those people with as much protection as we can in dealing with this and being around it. And I think it's interesting that there's so many people, they're making face masks. There's so many people that are donating in big ways to all of the people who need extra and don't have enough. So I think that's one of the really positive things that's coming out of this, is there's a lot of really great people doing a lot of really great stuff. I saw a post by Virgin Airlines. Richard Branson had an amazing, I think it was a tweet this morning that I happened to catch. I didn't read the whole thing, but it looks pretty impressive to me. Of course, he's a pretty impressive guy when it comes right down to it. And a lot of the things he does is to help people and to be a positive influence in the world. And you can do that when you have the ability to reach thousands and thousands or more people, or you're in charge of that many numbers of people based on your businesses and that kind of thing. So it's wonderful that people like that do those kinds of things, provide the PPE, provide flights when necessary, all the things that somebody that has the means can provide to the public and to the public at large and to the world at large, actually. I think that's awesome. There are a lot of people doing those kinds of things everywhere. Bob Stefanowski here in Connecticut was running for governor. He has personally, in his own vehicle, donated so many things to places and people that needed it. Face masks and personal protective equipment, that kind of thing. That was on the news the other night. So it's great when you see that. To me, that helps me to remain positive. That, I always say, like, probably, I'm going to say more than 95% of the population, and I'm going to say that worldwide, not just here in the U.S., are very, helpful, positive people who will do things for you, probably to their own detriment at times. And I think that's wonderful. And I think that's something we can be proud of as humanity, as people that care about other people. I think the majority of people actually do care about other people. And I'm glad that, that exists in our world. That's another good reason to be positive, that you can always look at the majority of the people doing good things and helping others and being a positive force for good. We can have a new world. I don't ever want to go back to what was normal back then, 2 or 3 months ago. I would rather have something where people are a little bit more health conscious, a little bit more caring about themselves in terms of, mitigating any potential health issues based on their family history or their lifestyle, and they could go forward to be a healthier person in so many ways, so that things like this will not affect them. And I would like that to be kind of more commonplace. I think that would be a wonderful happenstance should it come about. And I also think that, people do want to be healthy. It's hard to change habits, though. When you're used to doing something for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, give yourself a break, cut yourself a little slack, do the best you can, but try to move in the direction of, more health in terms of either what you're eating, what you're doing, how you're exercising, drinking plenty of water. Like, all those things all benefit your body. Your body is the vehicle. You got to keep feeding it good stuff. You don't want to put crappy gas in your tank. It's not going to run. You're not going to put crappy stuff inside you. You're not going to run. And, you can only put so much medication in you. So sometimes it's important and it keeps you alive. But other times there are a lot of things that are based in and have come out of bad nutrition that have caused a lot of these issues. And, there's no shortage of that in this country and many other countries as well. So I think there's a lot of positivity out there. As much as you can, it's really great if you can remain positive. If you can send out positive vibes, I think that really helps the energy of the planet and brings the vibration up, and people understanding that, every time you do prayers and meditations and things like that, that help, bring the vibration up for everyone. That they have that saying about when the tide changes, all ships rise. I forget exactly how the wording goes on that. But that's true. We can bring up the vibration for everyone by thinking positive thoughts. Thoughts are things. I say that a lot because I have to remind myself. I don't want to think about negative stuff. I want to remain positive as much as I can, and for the most part, I do. It's not that I'm denying that there's issues out there. Right now, I'm not real happy about the fact that all these micro businesses, mom and pop shops, Main Street USA, solo entrepreneurs, people who do all types of body work, and as well as small businesses, that we contribute the most to this country, and mostly and of course to Connecticut in terms of finances and our taxes and all, and are the most underrepresented group as a whole, and we employ more people as a whole than the top 25 companies in Connecticut combined. And so I'm not too happy that a lot of these businesses aren't even allowed to be open. I look forward to the day when some of this stuff starts lifting and we can resume going to our hairstylist, going to our local whatever convenience store. Hopefully they're open, but I'm sure there's plenty of other shops that you're happy to contribute to them financially, and they're not open right now because they are not allowed. They're not considered essential. So even places like Goodwill are closed. Savers is closed. You can't even donate the stuff that you cleaned out of your closet. So it's kind of a bummer. Just putting stuff in containers now. But the small mom and pop shops, the local entrepreneurs, the people who are there for you, they're probably your friends and your family, they're in your community. Those are the people that I have a lot of concerns for in terms of getting them back on their feet and getting them back up and running sooner rather than later. So I do recognize that there are many concerns out there, and I do my part to help where I can. So I think that's important. Let's send them positive love and light and good vibes, that we can get past this and we can continue moving forward, so that a lot of these smaller shops can open and get Connecticut's economy back, get the country and the world's economy back. That's going to be a benefit to everyone, financially in every area, and also I think emotionally, just feeling that kind of sigh of relief that we can get through this, and we're going to get past it, and we're going to make something better out of what happened here, and with a better understanding. And unfortunately, I know that that's usually in the rearview mirror is when we understand things the most, but hopefully we can get to a place where people remain positive and think positive thoughts about all those things, and we can move forward. So I hope you're having a good day. It's a beautiful sunny day, and the sun is kind of behind me at the moment, so I'm not going to be able to move the camera around. But I do want to say the sun is always shining. It's always got your back. And signing off for now, and I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow. Have a good night, and we'll talk to you again for sure. I'm going to eventually work on getting these on a YouTube channel so I can put it together so that they're available beyond the few minutes that I'm on FaceTime Live. So hopefully we can make that happen, and I'll have to learn something new, which I will do. I heard there's a way to do it, so I'm going to work on that. I do have a YouTube channel. It's just my name, Shirley Bloth, but I will have to work on getting them up on that channel. So bye for now, guys. Love you all. Keep the faith. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.